I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
I'm telling you, kids, don't come to Hollywood. I'm serious.
Your camera's there.
You're so broken. I love this. Please don't get well. You know, because the movie wasn't shooting for another year. So he asked me not to get well. That's how off this business is.
Jim Carrey's been throwing out warnings for years about Diddy and the Hollywood elite, and we all shrugged it off like he was just acting wild again. From his cryptic red carpet moments to straight up telling people to steer clear of Hollywood, Jim's been dropping clues. And now, it's all starting to make sense. Remember that red carpet moment when Jim made everyone uncomfortable with that bizarre truth bomb? Folks laughed it off like, there goes Jim again. But now that Diddy's name is all over the headlines, with those creepy party rumors, trafficking lawsuits, court drama, and FBI raids on his mansions, we're all starting to wonder, was Jim trying to warn us this whole time? And here's where it gets real wild. Insiders are whispering that Jim Carrey might actually be a silent witness in the federal case against Diddy. Yup, you heard that right. The same investigation that's got Diddy pacing courtroom halls might have Jim's name somewhere in those confidential files. Get your snacks and maybe say a little prayer, because what's unfolding is straight out of a thriller.
America are misinformed. Reality shows have warped our idea of what a hero is, or what the truth is. So tonight, I'd like to dedicate this award to those who remind us of our virtues, who remind us of the truth. To Sir Charles Chaplin, who battled McCarthyism into exile. To Christopher Steele, who tried to pull a thorn out of the paw of an ungrateful beast. To Christine Blasey Ford, to Colin Kaepernick. He'll stand for the anthem when the anthem stands for him. And to one of my friends, my good friends, and one of the greatest artists of our time, Robert De Niro, whose life was threatened also this week, along with many other incredibly decent people who bring joy to the world.
To truly get what's going on, we gotta rewind. This isn't some brand new mess. This tea has been simmering for years. Hollywood's always had shady whispers floating around about those elite invite-only parties where A-listers supposedly get into all kinds of wild stuff behind closed doors. And guess who's been in the middle of those rumors from day one? Diddy. Yeah, he's been known for hit records and business moves. But behind the scenes, he's also got a rep for throwing the most secretive, no-phones-allowed parties that leave people wondering what really goes down. This is the kind of Hollywood mess they don't want you to see. And now, the truth might finally be cracking through. And for just as long, folks have been wondering, why has Jim Carrey, the legendary, beloved, but famously off-the-grid actor, never been seen at one of Diddy's wild invite-only parties? Well, now we've finally got some answers. And trust, they're juicy. In a bunch of rare and seriously cryptic interviews over the years, Jim didn't dodge the question. He leaned right into it. He spoke on why he always kept his distance from Diddy's so-called freak-offs. And spoiler alert, it wasn't because he was too busy filming The Mask 2. Nah, Jim got real deep with it. He straight up said he's always been cautious about Hollywood's dark side. Those hidden circles he calls the unseen. The ones who protect the big names no matter what they do. For Jim, avoiding those parties wasn't about being antisocial. It was about protecting his peace, staying woke, and dodging the toxic madness that swallowed up so many stars before him. He even hinted he'd heard chilling stories about what really goes down behind those closed doors. And trust, this ain't some Vanity Fair red carpet gossip. He made it clear. The vibe at those parties, creepy. The crowd, sketchy. And the level of protection those elites had, locked down tight. At least until the current Diddy mess started blowing up. Jim didn't call out names, but the message was loud like a siren. Diddy and his circle had been untouchable for years, and Jim wanted nothing to do with it. While Hollywood kept smiling and playing the game, Jim dipped out and kept his hands clean. And now, as everything starts crashing down, it's looking like Jim saw this whole storm coming long before anyone else. For years, he's been like a quiet prophet, warning us about the dark stuff hiding behind the Hollywood sparkle. He's called out the industry for being obsessed with fame, fake images, and money, even going as far as calling it hollow, soulless, and yeah, straight up demonic. Looks like Jim Carrey knew exactly what he was dodging. And now, everyone else is finally catching up. So, is anyone really surprised that Jim Carrey never stepped foot into Diddy's infamous freak-off parties? Not even close. Fans are now revisiting Jim's old interviews and side-eyeing everything he ever said. And it's hitting way different now, with lawsuits stacking up against Diddy, full of chilling accusations, coercion, trafficking, hush-hush NDAs, and even creepy talk of ritual-type behavior. Jim's eerie old warnings are starting to sound a whole lot more like cold, hard facts. Take that wild 2014 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, for example. It's practically legendary now. Jim stared straight into the camera and, without blinking, started calling out Hollywood's secret society gang.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh.
People laughed nervously back then, thinking he was just goofing around. But now, it's straight up haunting. Go read the comments under that video. It's a whole new level of eerie. One person said, "My dad was there. There was no laughter. They added it after to cover it up." Another wrote, "Thanks to Jim for risking it all to say this." Someone even claimed, "My sister was on that show. She told us no one laughed when he said it." That video's been edited, redacted, and fans are saying the truth was hidden in plain sight.
I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and you know, look at him trying to cover it up. It's hilarious.
And now with the Diddy drama blowing up online, people are calling that clip historic. Like, how did we not see this before? Jim was out here sounding the alarm, and the crowd just chuckled like it was all part of the act. But those who really paid attention, they saw it, they felt it. People are showing mad respect to Jim now, saying things like, anyone who speaks truth knowing it could cost them everything deserves all the respect. And bless you, Jim. Stay safe out there. One fan even added, if you've never been to a show, let me tell you, those laughs get edited in. Nobody was laughing for real. So yeah, turns out Jim Carrey wasn't just joking around. He might have been dropping secrets right in front of the whole world. Now everybody's asking, was Jim Carrey really just being weird? Or was he actually dropping coded warnings about what's really been happening inside Hollywood's darkest corners? Social media is lit right now with fan theories flying everywhere. People are digging up old clips and realizing that Jim's infamous red carpet moment, where he said Hollywood is not real, it's demonic, might not have been a deep artistic rant after all. It could have been a direct shot at the power players pulling strings behind the scenes. And now that Diddy's name is all over the headlines, linked to serious lawsuits and a full-blown federal investigation, folks are starting to see those old Carrey clips in a whole new light. From 2014 to 2017, Jim was dropping mad cryptic statements that didn't fully click back then. He said Hollywood was soulless, said some celebs were possessed and being controlled by dark forces. People brushed it off like he was just going through some spiritual thing or artsy phase. But now, those puzzle pieces are falling into place, and fans are convinced Jim was trying to warn the world about the very kind of power games, shady circles, and disturbing events that are finally being exposed today. And guess whose name keeps coming up as the face of those shadowy circles? Diddy. So here's the real question. Was Jim Carrey sounding the alarm about the secret parties, high-level manipulation, and hidden predators that the industry worked hard to keep buried? Or is all this just a crazy coincidence? Either way, the timing is too wild to ignore, and And think about this. After Jim started speaking out, he suddenly disappeared from the Hollywood spotlight. No big studio roles, no blockbuster comedies, no Ace Ventura comeback, nothing. Fans are wondering if he got blacklisted, silenced, pushed out for exposing too much. Now it's all coming back into focus, and Jim might have known exactly what he was stepping into. And if you've been watching closely, you already know. When a celeb in Hollywood goes off script, things start getting real strange real quick. So Jim Carrey's sudden disappearance from the spotlight, it doesn't feel random at all. After calling Hollywood soulless and demonic, and hinting at disturbing things going down behind the scenes, his career didn't just slow down. It hit a brick wall. He went from being one of the biggest, most bankable comedy legends to barely showing up anywhere. Yeah, he's been painting and showing up here and there, but the Jim Carrey we all grew up watching, the movie star, it's like he vanished into thin air. Now, conspiracy theorists have been ringing alarm bells for years, saying Jim was silenced by the same powerful machine that protects names like Diddy and erases anyone who dares to speak out against it. And let's not act like this is some one-time thing. There's a pattern here. Kanye West starts speaking on industry control. Boom, canceled. Brendan Fraser talks about his trauma and abuse. Next thing you know, he's blacklisted for nearly 10 years. Jim Carrey calls out dark Hollywood vibes and drops cryptic truth bombs. His career goes silent almost overnight. And then, there was that sketchy deleted tweet from Elon Musk. You know, the one where he said something like, "A lot of celebrities are leaving the US because they know too much." What? Was that a nod to Jim? Because let's keep it real. Carrey didn't just step away from the industry. He straight up disappeared. No press runs, no big streaming deals, no award shows, no skits, nothing. Just a few rare interviews and then radio silence. Some say he's locked away painting in a private studio. Others believe he's laying low for a much bigger reason. And in one of his last public moments, Jim himself dropped this cryptic line, "I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough." But let's be honest, that kind of mysterious exit always follows the same Hollywood blueprint. When a star sees too much and says too much, the curtain drops real fast. Speaks out, gets labeled eccentric, quietly pushed out. We've seen this move before, and now people are asking, was Jim Carrey really just stepping back on his own terms? Or did Hollywood shut him down before he could spill more truth? Because let's be real, the timing is way too sketchy. Jim's always been one of Hollywood's most mysterious and thought-provoking figures. But lately, his refusal to stay quiet about what really goes down behind the scenes is grabbing more attention than ever. While most celebs either play along or keep their mouths shut, Carrey's been out here questioning everything, saying the kind of stuff nobody else dares to touch. For years, he's distanced himself from the red carpets and fake glitz, turning his energy towards spirituality, art, and some deep soul-searching. But it's not just his retreat from the limelight that's raising eyebrows, it's his flat-out refusal to be seen at Diddy's notorious, invite-only freak-off parties that's now getting serious side-eye, especially now that Diddy's knee-deep in lawsuits and major legal heat. Jim's total absence from those wild events is starting to make a lot of sense. And this is where things get spicy. The internet's blowing up with rumors. On Reddit conspiracy threads, TikTok deep dives, and Twitter sleuth pages, people are saying Jim Carrey's name is allegedly buried in those sealed court docs tied to the Diddy investigation. Some users even claim the FBI has already reached out to Carrey, and not just casually. Word is he might be a key witness in the whole thing, because here's what everyone's whispering. Jim knows way too much. And while others stayed silent or played along, he bounced out and started throwing subtle jabs at the machine. Now, with the spotlight burning on Diddy, all eyes are swinging back to Jim, and it's looking like he might have been holding some major receipts all along. Think all this sounds too wild to be true? Let's connect the dots. Multiple former employees have come forward accusing Diddy of using NDAs and intense intimidation tactics to keep people quiet. Cassie's lawsuit even claimed that some celebs were being used as suppliers or straight-up bait for those ultra-exclusive, no-phones-allowed parties. And the FBI didn't roll up to Diddy's mansions just to make headlines. They were reportedly hunting for evidence of trafficking, financial crimes, and straight-up coercion. So now ask yourself, if Jim Carrey was ever invited to those wild parties, and he turned it down. That doesn't just make him a bystander. That could make him a man who knows what went down behind those velvet ropes and blackout curtains. Maybe he saw the red flags, heard the whispers, or witnessed things he couldn't unsee. Maybe he's been staying quiet for now. But here's the twist. If Jim was ever pushed to join in and he walked away instead, that doesn't just make him brave. It makes him dangerous to the people who run those circles. Not because he's in on it, but because he isn't, because he walked away, and because if he ever chose to speak out fully, it could bring the whole thing crashing down. Jim Carrey's always been a step ahead, dropping truth bombs in the middle of punchlines. The question now is, will he speak out again, or has he already been speaking, just in a way most people weren't ready to hear? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Jim knows more than he's saying? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you're ready for more truth behind the glitter. Hit that bell so you never miss another drop of tea, and we'll catch you on the next one.